Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more reading the My Hero Academia manga. This is chapter 405. The unofficials just dropped about an hour ago. A few things before I begin. I just got back from a vacation and I am sick. You'll probably hear it in my voice throughout this video, but I went to go watch the Vikings Monday Night Football game in Minneapolis. They won, baby. I had a great time. But I got sick on my trip, and hopefully I don't cough much throughout this video, but if I do, I'm going to edit it out because no one wants to see that. It's gross. But so I'm not 100%, but a new My Hero chapter just dropped, and I always push through for those because it's worth it. And I know you guys want to see my reaction, and I want to read it. So it's a win for win, baby. Yeah, I have had very little time to think about My Hero during my trip. So I'm coming back. I haven't had a chance to speculate. I have no theories. I'm just gonna dive on in and let's see what happens. It could be anything. I mean, Bakugo's back, and yeah, I have nothing else to say. I hope you guys enjoy my reaction. I'm ready. Let's dive on in. By the way, the chapter, what is it called? Final boss. Okay, here we go. First page. Whoa, it's a very expressive page. Okay. Oh, this is so cool. So we're getting like the main people involved right now. We have All Might, Shigaraki, All for One, Deku, and Bakugo. Who's looking beautiful, by the way. The wind blows. My Hero Academia. Yep, and everyone just like shocked at what just happened. Except for Bakugo. He's the only one that's not shocked, obviously, because he's the one who just came in and was all badass and like, I'm gonna save you, All Might. We'll win this. But oh, it's so cool. Horikoshi, his art, oh my god. It's so cool seeing All Might like with the white eyes too. Very close up, and like there's still subtle like darkness to it, but I'm very curious to see how it's gonna look animated because we're so used to seeing Toshinori, the skinny form, without being able to see the whites of his eyes. So moving down. Oh shit, Night Eye. Oh shit. So this wasn't it, Night Eye. It was All Might. Referring to the moment. Yeah, this is the moment. Okay, so yeah, me personally, I'm so happy that All Might's gonna live. I understand there's like people who are upset about it, but they've been building up reasons for him to live for a long time. It was more of a question of like, would those reasons ultimately pay off that he wouldn't die, or would Horikoshi pull one over us and he would die anyway? That was kind of the question. But okay, it looks like now we're getting like hardcore confirmation. Like, yeah, this was the moment you were supposed to die. So this wasn't it, Night Eye. It was All Might, replies Night Eye. And so there, it's a white background, and you see All Might just sort of floating there. He's just sort of floating in front of Night Eye. And Night Eye, it says, "This should have been the end of your dream." Chapter 405, Final Boss. Night Eye continues, "But fate has been twisted. Your dream did end there. And then we're getting flashbacks to this is some of the stuff that like not just me, but like I've personally been like discussing on Twitter and whatnot. Like it's the scene where All Might bows before Deku's mom. He says, "I vow to like give my life for him," and she's like, "No, I want you to live. If you can do that for me, you know." And then you have Deku, the whole twist fate scene with All Might jogging. All Might saying, "I want you to say like tell the world that I am here," which we're still waiting for, by the way. I hope. I can't wait for that moment where Deku's like, "I am here" in front of All Might. Oh, it's gonna be so freaking good. And we have All Might kind of smiling back at him. "What about the mentor dying and passing it on?" Night Eye replies, "Save that for the comic books, Toshinori Yagi." Oh my god, that gave me chills. Oh, that's good. What about the mentor dying and passing it on? Save that for the comic books. Yo, Horikoshi. He straight up even said like the Jonathan Michael, save that cliche for the comic books. I've been saying it for so long. Like All Might Living. Sorry. All Might Living would, like, I understand people, there's some people who don't like that, but like technically speaking, it's the path way less traveled. Like usually there he's even poking fun of it here. That's so cool. Basically, like usually it's so common that the mentor of the hero, like the main character, ends up dying like in a heroic way, and like it's tragic. But Night Eye is like, save that for the comic books, Toshinori Yagi. Just what am I making? Just what am I making this hallucination say? All Might's thinking to himself. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Heroes are human too. You won't die that easily. Night Eye. I made a post recently on my Twitter or X, whatever. I was like, rest easy, Night Eye. Like, because all Night Eye's life, he was gripped by this fear of the prediction he had for All Might, and it caused strife between them and whatnot. But here, this is so good. Like, you see a smile on his face. Like, I was wrong. Like, throughout this whole, it's interesting. Throughout this whole hallucination, sort of dreamlike thing, Night Eye looks very stern. He looks like a dead person talking. Really, there's no light in his eyes. He's just looking forward blankly, saying this like fate's been twisted. But the very end right here, heroes are human too. You won't die that easily. You see a faint smile. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. That's really well done. That's exactly what I would have wanted. All right, cutting back to what's actually happening. What? An explosion quirk. You get a bunch of these people looking on the TV. Nice. They're seeing Bakugo kick ass. Oh, it's so sick. Yeah, you just like it's the look at him kid. Wait, he's the one who got taken by the league. And then you see just a bunch of people looking around at him. Looks like his gauntlet disintegrated or something. I think that's what it's showing close up of. And it looks like they land on a nearby rooftop. Oh, that's so sick. What's his name again? The one restrained at the sports festival. Oh, they're referring to the sports festival and the Camino Award. Oh, that's such a nice like callback. What's his name again? The one restrained at the sports festival. Bro, that was so long ago. Do you guys remember that? Of course you remember the sports festival, but oh my god. That's crazy. Dude, like back in the good old days where like Bakugo was still a little torp and he won, but he hated that he won because Todoroki didn't try his hardest. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good. I love that. Again, sorry. If it gets bad, I'll edit it out, but I don't think I think I'll be fine. Um, that's a good callback. I love how they mentioned that. Whoa! Whoa, second movie. Second the kids, what are their names? Mahiro and oh, what's the girl's name? It's the kids from the second movie. And they shout Bakugo! And he's got his little edgeshot pin still. Oh, that's so sick. What that's a good tie-in. Like not only I mean like not obviously they're watching it on the TV, but like edgeshot being very important to Bakugo's like revival, and they have the kid, the only kid in the whole universe apparently who edshot's his favorite hero, which is always been it's always been cool to me that like Edgeshot, no one really cares too much about Edgeshot, but that kid loved him. What's the girl's name? It's Mahiro. I think the boy's name is Mahiro, and then I can't remember the girl's name. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Um, Bakugo, they shout. Oh, that's so good. I'm assuming the dad's behind him. The dad that they like rescue in the movie. I guess spoilers from the movie. Um, boom, 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 boom. Oh my god, That's so sick. You have All Might, who's like on the ground. I wonder if paralysis or blood curdle still affecting him. It's hard to say. But yeah, Bakugo, who's just like, oh, dude, he's so sick looking. That's so cool. You see a little explosion going off of him, like mist. He's glowing. Bakugo's, he's just breathing. All Might says, "Young Bakugo, are you okay?" Again, I said this in the last chapter. I'm glad that they're having All Might talk because it was really strange when he was first getting like ripped. Like you just see a blank like expression from All Might, like he wasn't saying anything. Because with Blood Curdle, we know like the user can still basically talk and everything, use everything above their neckline. Um, but yeah, young Bakugo, are you okay? That's my line, says Bakugo. You decrepit old fart. Oh shit. Oh, he's coughing up blood. That's my line, actually. Ouch, 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 ouch. Edgeshot? Oh my, wait, hold up. Edgeshot's alive? That's my line, actually, as he erupts from Bakugo's chest. You see, like, him just finishing a suture or, like, stitches on his chest. And Bakugo just looks like he's like a twinging in pain. And All Might is like, what? What the fuck? Yeah, don't worry, All Might. You missed the very crazy and controversial Bakugo revival sequence. I'm sure someone will fill you in later. Um, I'll just really quickly say, because I don't know how many people watch my chapter, my stance on it is I'm actually totally cool with the method of which he was saved. My only problem was the fake out itself. Like I'm not a fan of fake outs, and that was like a major fake out. But most people had a big problem with Edgeshot being able to repair him that way. I didn't because it was just a great example of quirks being used in various awesome ways. So like my problem was half full, more so everyone else was like hated the fake out and the method of his revival, but mine's only half. Um, Edgeshot. There was too much blood inside, so I made you vomit it. Feel any better? Okay. I will say, if Headshot lives, that's gonna be a little bit like, because it was very heavily implied that he was sacrificing himself to save Bakugo. I did not expect him to come out right here, but I guess this does give Bakugo a chance to be like, "Oh shit, you saved me. Thank you." Like, I guess that's good. We'll see where this goes. I don't know. Um, so Edgeshot. What's left of Edgeshot leaves. Okay, so he'll probably die here because there's not much of him left. He's just a little like strand. Thud. He falls to the ground. Using the um, Hakamada style secret nodding in my own body, I repaired your broken bones and injured organs. Your insides won't be collapsing anymore. Nice. Well, I figured that like when he repaired him, it actually made him stronger than he was before. That's my thought, because you have like infused with like another person's powers or whatever. I mean, not he doesn't have like full to body powers. You know what I mean? Um, but even lifting a finger will hurt like hell. He says it's not an ideal body for hopping around. I wonder if like in the anime, since he's so small, when you hear Edgeshot talking, it's just like it's like his tiny little voice, like, or if it's gonna be weird, like this little, small little strand is still talking like a mystical ninja. I am talking normally, like you know what I mean. Like it'd be so funny if they made it like a little person voice. Why do I think of these things? I don't know. It's not an ideal body for hopping around. Bakugo puts his hand on his chest. Dude, he looks magnificent here. Holy shit. He looks so cool. If there was ever such a thing as like Super Saiyan in this universe, this would be like Bakugo's version of it. He's like essentially glowing. His little sparks constantly going off around him. It's very much how Deku looked with Eri on his back. How it's just like this aura like around him. Really cool. Bakugo says, I know. Thank you, senpai, for letting me live. You got it wrong. I simply bound things together, says Edgeshot. I kept trying to make his heart and lungs work, but he just wouldn't wake up. Something else woke him up? Was it All Might's vestige? Whoa, what's gonna happen here? Thousand sheep pierce zenith. Eats away at my own life, yeah. I was at my limit. Things weren't looking good. It was either me or him. But then, something came through his bloodstream. It was... What was it? One of those little sweat spheres Bakugo produced right before dying. Oh, did it jumpstart his heart? Yeah. Whoa. I simply bound things together. What brought you back was the quirk you strengthened over the years. Yo! It was like a defibrillator or whatever. Like, you know how like clear it, like they put a shock to the heart? Bakugo's sweat. Like a droplet of it. Like, pew, boo. It's just like, pew, boo. Why is that so cool? So Bakugo, in a sense, revived himself. Okay, so it's like a tag team effort between him and Edgeshot. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's like, that adds a little bit more like uniqueness to it. I like that, actually. Bakugo stands in front of All Might, who's looking up at him. Okay, so his blood curdle quirk must be like wearing off because All Might's sort of using his like arm to hold himself up. Bakugo says, "By the way, who's that shining kid?" My gut made me think it was All For One, but All Might says, "Yeah, that's him, young Bakugo." I love when he says young Bakugo, young Midoriya, like young whoever. It's just like so funny. My friend who, sorry, a little sidetrack here. My friend who never watches anime, I got him to watch My Hero with me, and he ended up really liking it. And one thing we always like laugh at every time when we were watching it was like, young Midoriya, like, because we watched the dub version. I like both versions, but he was new to the anime, so I just watched the dub. Young Midoriya, young Bakugo, like, it's something so cool about that. But he says, yeah, that's him, young Bakugo. And they say Shining Kid here, so I'm really hoping they explain it. Like, they just straight up say if All For One is the Shining Baby or not. Right? They gotta at least say it. I still think we might get an All For One Backflash chapter. Just one to explain some things about him. Give me your arm. I can't move due to blood curdle. Okay. So blood curdle is still affecting him, but he's able to like move his arms a little bit. Bakugo looks back at him. It may not be working anymore, but it will serve as a splint. Great explosion, murder, God, dynamite. Oh my God, he said it. He fucking said it. Oh, I was hoping he would. Oh, that's so fucking cool. I'm sorry. He said the name. He said great explosion, murder, God, dynamite. It's a ridiculous name. But dude, oh my God, Bakugo picked it because it's honoring All Might, who he loves. And All Might honoring Bakugo by naming the gauntlet after the name he picked to honor him. Oh my God, that's so cool. God, Horikoshi, you're on fire, man. This last arc. Yeah, we're seeing the nanotech work. Like moving from his arm. I say nanotech. They have a different name for it. Whatever. It's nanotech. It's transferring from his arm to Bakugo. Dude, that has to mean the world to Bakugo that he named the gauntlet after him. Oh, that's so cool. Great explosion, murder, goddamn. I'm sorry. That's so cool to me. I'm sorry. That's all I can give you right now. And All Might kind of like falls back a little bit. It does mean the world to him. My boy. Bakugo's like smiling. He is smiling. Like a genuine, legitimate smile. Oh my God, my heart. Oh, that's so like, oh my god. It did mean the world to Bakugo. Dude. Oh, this is one of those moments, man. This is one of those moments. This is like that's so cool. Why, bro? Oh, I'm so glad All Might lived. I'm so glad he lived. I'm so glad Bakugo was the one to save him. I'm so glad that they got this moment. Because the whole series, this is like actually really important. The whole series, Bakugo, like we've obviously moved past a lot of this stuff because Bakugo apologized to Deku and whatnot. But the whole series, like Bakugo always felt in his mind that he was playing catch up, that he was playing like second fiddle. He felt bad that his hero, his idol, chose Deku over him, and like obviously he's emotionally moved past that and he's matured a lot. But to have this moment where he's the one to save All Might. Deku couldn't do it. Like he saved him. And two, his hero that he idolized his whole life, like it isn't like obviously it's broken. He's just giving him a splint, but like I named this great explosion murder god Dynamite. Like oh my god! And then he has this smile. This smile is like the capstone of like I didn't know how much I needed this smile. That is so good. It just feels like finally Bakugo himself is satisfied, you know? Like Deku got satisfied from hearing the apology. I'm sure Bakugo felt great to get off his chest, but this was like he needed this. Ah, Bakugo. Ah, it's so good. Cutting back to All for One, who his arms are growing back. He looking pissed. By the way, people are saying there's a lot of like Kira references, and I don't. I've seen Kira. Akira is it what's I the movie the old school '80s one. I've seen it once like years ago, but I don't know it that well to like know the references. But he looks a lot like the veiny like characters of like that movie. I'm sure a lot of people are making references into this a lot, but that's kind of what it reminds me of now that people have brought it to my attention. Like, yeah, it does. There's a lot of things in My Hero that are references to that. I think Horikoshi is a fan of that. Okay, so All for One's looking down at the rooftop where Bakugo is. No, can't lose any more time. I have to get one for all. Get my brother. He turns back. And for that, I need to take over Tomuro's strong sense of self. Transferring him the copy of my quirk should do it. Then, the me inside of him will take back control of the body as we get that swallowing image of Shigaraki again, which is still a great panel. But my blood is boiling. Oh, the anger's taking over him. Why is everything? We're getting best jeanist. Who is this one? There's Mirko, Nejire, Amajiki, Mirio. Who is this one? Why am I drawing why am I drawing a blank of who this second one is? I'm sorry, I can't remember who the second one is. Uh, going what? Why is everything going so wrong? That's a great double spread. Holy shit! We have a bunch of the people who like fought him back in the first fight. We have Endeavor, Hawks, Jiro. Sorry, Tokoyami. We have Kami and why can't I remember one guy's name right now? I'm sorry. I'm like my head's foggy. We have Mount Lady. We have gigantomachia. We have Mineta. Yo, Mineta! When he threw a little ball at him, and he's like, "Don't be an edge lord, bitch." We have All Might when he's shouting hysterically, like "ah ha 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 ha," and then we have All for One at the very end. Yo, I love this. All these people stood up to him, whittling down his time, and he's losing his shit. Bakugo, I'm your final boss, All for One. Oh my god, they put a twist on it. I thought All for One was the final boss they were doing too, but no. Bakugo straight up snatched the title, slapped it on his chest, is like, I'm the final boss, bitch. Oh god, that's so good. And he's right in All for One's face. He's grabbing him by the face. Explosions going off all around him. The wind should be blowing in my favor, All for One thinks to himself. And he thinks back to the second user again. Man, these allegations of the second user being Bakugo seem to like just never die, huh? And he starts freaking out. Boom! An attack brought together by everyone. And just a gigantic explosion from Bakugo. I'm the guy who steps in when that nerd can't handle it all on his own. Chapter 405, and that's awesome. Straight up says, I'm your final boss, All for One. That's so fucking hardcore. I'm sorry for the F-bomb. Alright, so... sorry. I have a few things to say. I haven't really talked about this, but a lot of people have really been, like, debating on, like... Basically, like, should All for One be the guy that Bakugo fights at the end? I've always, like, for a long time, I've been like, that would be so sick. Like, you have Deku fighting Shigaraki, and then Bakugo, who really, like, throughout the whole series, like, he hasn't really had his own, like, villain fight. Obviously in the movies, he's fought in the main villains and stuff, but, like, in the main series, like, Deku had Nagant, Deku had Overhaul, he had, to a lesser degree, Stain, that was a trio fight, but he's fought in Shigaraki a few times. But Bakugo's never really had, like, obviously they fought the Sud villain, the soda guy or whatever. But again, Todoroki was there to help. But it's so sick here in the final stretch. Not only does he have his own fight, but it's All for One. What a worthy fight. And I also love how, like, so he fixed his body and stuff, but basically he says it's gonna hurt like hell to move. So you know Bakugo's hurting right now. And I love, like, in this moment where All for One's, like, in his mind trying to decide, like, I need to go over there, but this anger inside of me, I want to go over there. And in that time, you have Bakugo just fly up, grab him by the freaking face, and he's like, bitch, I'm your final villain. Boo! Blasts him. I still am in the camp that thinks that All for One is going to get rewound to being the age of at least like a small child. I think Bakugo will do that much. And I'm not saying Bakugo will lose, but I think something has to happen where, like, at that stage where he's like a little 4 or 5 year old kid, because he looks to be about like 13, 14. His age is kind of fluctuated. At one point, Horikoshi, I think, drew him a little bit too young when he first got out of that crater from the laser. He looked like he was 10, but then he sort of like rebounded a little bit to looking like he's like 14, 13. I think Bakugo will get him to like down to like 4 or 5 years old. Something will happen, and I think I think it's so much more fitting. I guess like Bakugo could kill All for One, but I just think that there's so much unresolved sort of tension between Shigaraki and All for One to where it makes so much more sense to have Shigaraki kill him. But that's just sort of my prevailing theory right now. But this is, oh my god, this chapter is so good. This essentially was Bakugo's like journey kind of coming to fruition here. Like, obviously he still has the fight left, but everything about this I loved. Everything. Artwork. The emotional moments with him smiling. It's so good. That's so good. I explained my thoughts well enough in that moment, but like, holy crap. We got the kids from the second movie, which in my opinion is, despite the fact I hate that they so canonically now, I mean, like we at this point we already know the movies are canon. But canonically, Bakugo did at one point have One for All. And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole. I still am not a fan of that ending for that movie. If that ending didn't happen that way, I would have given the movie a 10 out of 10, but it stands at a 9 out of 10. It's still my favorite of the three movies. Um, and I'm glad that they referenced the kids. Someone let me know down below. It's Mahiro and I can't remember the other girl's name. The two kids. Um, the Night Eye stuff, putting a cap on that, like, yeah, that was it. That was the moment you were supposed to die. Fate was changed. And R.I.P. Night Eye. Yeah. What a chapter, folks. That was a great chapter. This was like, I mean, I've seen people complain that this last arc has been like up and down. It's been nothing but up. Like to each their own. Whatever you think is whatever you think. I can just speak for myself, and I'm not. I know it's gonna come off as me sounding like a blind fanboy. Like, oh, of course you're gonna like it. You're gonna like everything Horikoshi does. I have no problem criticizing when I feel like criticizing. I just did it last chapter or so with the whole vestige stuff. I was like, he's trying a little too hard with the vestige stuff. Like, I don't. There's no logical reason why the vestige would like start to materialize as human, and then like the second he's out of All for One's clutches, that like it would like get undone. You know, like the vestige world basically was assuming that he was gonna die versus him actually physically hurt enough to where he was gonna die. Like I thought that was really dumb. Other than that, it was a great chapter. But again, I'm not afraid to criticize when I don't like something. But on the whole, this final arc has been the best stuff of My Hero. With it's been right on par with what I would consider the other peak moments of the series, being the sports festival early on, which is still some of the best storytelling and combat and everything, and the Deku Rogue arc, the Hero Hunt arc, or whatever you want to call it, in terms of just being visually spectacular, emotionally hitting all the right beats, and just doing its job by telling the story it needs to tell. This final arc has been amazing, and I will not accept any Horikoshi slander for like I like I said, you can feel however you want, but like you can't say that Horikoshi's rushing this or some shit. I hate seeing that. Like he's not rushing anything. Are you seeing the effort he's putting in here? Like, my God, it's so good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Again, sorry for sounding like shit and coughing sometimes. I'm sure the second I get done recording here, I'm just going to go back and lay down and sweat out this cold. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and leave your thoughts down below as always. I don't always reply to the comments, but I read them all. I always read them all because they're so fun. So yeah. Until next time, it's been Mighty Gazelle, helping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.